This is beautiful. Listen to that. That's what traveling will do to your guitar.
Welcome back to Drinking While Interviewing, and we are back here at Raleigh's own Green Monkey back shooting, and we have a pretty special guest today. Not pretty special guest, a very special guest. It is Katie Basden, singer-songwriter. You are originally from the Tar Heel State.
Yes.
But you are now kind of more nationally and world renowned.
Oh my gosh. I don't know about world renowned.
Oh, I'm gonna oversell you like there's no tomorrow.
Okay, then I'll keep it all shut.
Today, we are drinking Major Tom's. It's a pomegranate wheat beer from Fort Collins Brewing, which is in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Nice.
And let's take a sip real quick.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers to you.
It's pretty yummy.
Not bad. A little bit of a fruity undertone. This probably comes from the pomegranate and just being a general wheat beer. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some people that are watching this right now thinking, I know that face. I know who she is. Why would they know who you are?
So I was on The Voice this past season, season 10. Currently right now season 11 is being filmed. And I was in season 10, which would have been February to May-ish of 2016.
How did you become a singer-songwriter?
So I was singing before I was speaking as a child. So that was kind of like a telltale sign of like, hey, this person's gonna be a singer. But I think I grew up singing in choirs and all kinds of stuff. Like many other artists, got my start in church choirs and things like that. I was taking piano lessons, all of the above, and then one day I sat down with a guitar and one of my friends taught me 3 chords and it was over. I was 14 or 15 years old and started writing songs as soon as that started, and I've been doing it since then, so almost 12 years.
So bring me through the process of you actually starting to write a song. Where does the genesis of an idea for a song come?
So I'll give you an example of the most recent one that's not even finished yet, but I just recently played a show outside of Dallas, Texas, and my hotel was in Dallas, and I rented a car because the show was about an hour outside, and there was no really like airport to get there, so I just decided to stay in Dallas and commute out. And I was driving back in, and I've been touring as an artist for now almost 3 years on and off, and so I just kind of looked at the highway and I was like, everything looks the same no matter where I'm at. Like I could be in Dallas, Texas, I could be in Seattle, Washington, and being on the highway at night feels exactly the same. I think the question I get all the time is, who are you signed to? Like, who's booking these shows? And I'm like, me in my pajamas, like guzzling coffee because I had to get up and answer a phone call. Like, it's like me all the way.
And I'm guessing it never stops for you.
No, it doesn't. I have to designate time to not answer, not open my phone or not open my email inbox because it is my dream and it's what drives me. I will work until 5 a.m. if I don't mentally shut down, because that'll be like, oh, there's another show. That's another connection for me. And then about 6 weeks later, I'll realize something in my other part of my life is completely out of balance. I might get sick, or I might have a terrible relationship fallout or something because I let my life get out of balance.
And I know you've been working on, or you had been working on something of a local matter, mm-hmm. and that had to do with the Hurricane Matthew that had rolled through here a little bit ago.
From being on national television, I was able to gain a little bit more of a following and a little more, I guess you could call it clout. And now is the time, if there ever was a time, now is more a time to showcase to people, this is who I am. And it really is, I try to be as transparent as possible. And so Hurricane Matthew came through, and my dad is from Eastern North Carolina. Most of Eastern North Carolina got wiped completely. Lots of people lost their homes. I was already volunteering with the Ronald McDonald House, and I was singing for one of their benefits. And this lady came up to me afterwards. She was like, hey, it's up to you. I don't know if you're going to be in town, but on November 12th, we're going to be taking down some stuff to Lumberton, North Carolina. We're partnering up with these two nonprofits. We're going to be taking stuff down because so many of the people just don't have anything right now. They're relying on the Red Cross and things like that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I've been talking with some folks, but I'm not really sure what to do. And then 2 days later, I had completely forgotten the date. Like, I had forgotten that she said November 12th. I just knew that she was planning on it. And in my head, I was like, this is crazy. There's so many people around me who want to do something, but they don't know who to donate to. And then I also felt really upset because I felt like the people around me weren't doing enough. And so I just like lunged forward and I was like, we're going to do a benefit. We're going to invite everybody who's local from Durham. It's really important to me to inspire people to live differently. I think right now, I saw a lot of when I was reaching out to so many people, it definitely showcased exactly who people were to me, the ugly and then of course the extremely generous. And so even if one email went out that inspired someone to live differently and maybe just donate to something else, that's huge to me. Because I think that's a lot of what's going on with our world around us right now, is that we're too focused on our inner self versus everyone else around us. It was a really special time. It definitely is one of those things that gives you faith in humanity.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to sing a song called Gypsy Prophet that I wrote about 3 years ago. And I kind of kept it to myself. I didn't tell anybody about it, but I sent my dad what we call a work tape, which means you just like either open your phone and push record. And I had actually like recorded it in GarageBand in my computer. And I sent it to him and he was like, that's a really great song, you should play that out. And I was like, well, I was still in college at the time. I was like, I don't have many shows coming up, whatever. So about 6 months later, I was on a house show tour and someone filmed it. And then about 6 months later, American Songwriter magazine turned 30 years old and they held a song contest. And Chris Stapleton, and he's become popular among a lot of people because he did a whole thing with Justin Timberlake and stuff like that. But I have been following him since I was 15, so for him to even be a judge and hear my music was huge. But him and another artist, Charlie Worsham, chose it as the #1 country song. And I was like, I'm good, it doesn't matter. Chris Stapleton has heard my music and he likes it. And so Gypsy Prophet was that song, and now I love to play it. I don't pray that often. In fact, I don't pray at all. Lately I've been on my knees 'cause it's not so far to fall. I know it's only up from here. Everywhere I go, the ground just disappears. I wanna fly like an angel in the sky and float on a cloud up so high. People will say that I have lost it, that I'm just a barefoot gypsy prophet.
Katie Basden.
On a scale of economy class to the companion pass from Southwest, I would give it a Delta Sky Lounge.
You just went completely outside, yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
I think I'm gonna give this 2-star Childs in honor of it being called Major Tom. Ground control to, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Thanks for coming out to the Green Monkey. And thank Katie for coming out and joining us, drinking Major Tom's from Fort Collins. Come and join us next time here at the Green Monkey. Thanks again. Have a good night.
For me to be mildly inconvenienced for 2 weeks for someone to get their home back, to me is like, it doesn't take that much energy to like push out and help and get people together. And so that was that was largely
that can
important
be a
to
word
me.
now.
Bigly. That one's a word now. So